What's up, guys? Back with some 1967 Ford Mustang content. We will be using my Precision 6 Pro to be spraying some spray poly on the roof. The roof was wavier than hell and it was just bad. I put some mud on it, threw some epoxy on it, and that's what you see on it now. And the epoxy is just in case if anything chips past the spray poly, that it won't rust underneath it. But anyway, I replaced almost every panel on this Mustang, and I probably should have replaced the roof, but we didn't. So Precision 6 Pro, and we're gonna be doing again some spray poly on the roof, so let's do it. First things first, for the Precision 6 Pros or pretty much any HVLP system from Apollo, you can order it with the size tip that you need. I ordered it with a 0.8 because that's what I use for base coat. It's a little bit different sizes than conventional spray guns, but just reach out to them if you ever need any help. I went ahead and grabbed a needle set kit for this spray poly since it's so thick. Normally, conventional needles you could use anywhere between I believe it's like a 2.0 to like a 2.5 or like a 2.5 to like 2.9. So just a really, really big tip. So for the HVLP system, I went ahead and grabbed the 1.8, and we should be able to, that should be big enough. And if it comes out too chunky, we can always reduce the size. So again, we're gonna be using the blue cap. This is their 1.8 tip. For spray poly brand, using Spies Hecker. Again, we're just trying out the Apollo to see if it's gonna be able to spray this, which I really think it is, because I've seen like woodworking and other more thicker material be able to go through that Apollo as long as you have the right needle size and whatnot. So we'll just put on 5 coats because that's what the TDS says, and that's up to like 40 mils of thickness, and we need as much as we can get. So let's get to it. All right, I got everything pretty much mixed up in the Apollo and ready to go. I only mixed up about 10 ounces just in case this doesn't work out and I don't have like a hardened cup of my spray polyester, you know what I mean? So we're gonna go ahead and I'm not really sure what PSI to do this at. So if it comes out too chunky, it's gonna be a mixture of adjusting the fluid tip and turning up the air, you know, to get it to where I like it, you know what I mean? But then if I just can't get it right at all, then I might get some reducer for the spray poly. They do have a reducer for the spray poly, but they didn't have any in stock when I went to go buy some, so I just got the hardener and the spray poly itself. So let's give it a try and see what we come up with. Since this spray poly is so thick, I'm gonna go ahead and start off with like 11 PSI, which is all the way up on this Precision 6 Pro. I'm gonna do two turns open and see what it looks like from there. If it's too chunky, I might turn it in so I can atomize a little bit better. I went ahead and just laid some tape on the body line of the Mustang because I went ahead and shaved off my drip rails. So I just want to make sure the build stays up in this top area. First half is done. I'm not sure if you could tell how it got darker in the middle, and that's just because I tightened up the fan a little bit. I had the fan all the way open, but I went ahead and shrunk it a little bit. I think it helped out a little bit more, and I might continue to do the rest with my fan closed like that. Overall, it looked like it's doing it well. I'm not really sure what it's supposed to look like, so we're just gonna keep going. All right, my boss who suggested going vertical this way and then going horizontal, just so you can get an even build all the way around, and so that's what I'm gonna do. Alrighty guys, quick recap of what happened. I'm not really sure what happened to my audio, so I gotta do a voiceover, but yeah, just did about 6 coats of that spray poly. If anything, I'd probably go like maybe a size up with on the Apollo, maybe a 2.0 tip, but overall, I think it worked out great. It had some really good build. I had some 80 grit scratches that it filled really well, so I think it's gonna block down really nice. I'm not really sure how much faster a conventional gun would be in comparison to the Apollo, and that's kind of like the major question that I get all the time is how fast, what's the difference, this and that. And I'm not sure in this scenario that conventional gun would have been much faster because of how thick the product was. If anything, I think it would have helped for me to get some reducer, but we just ran with it because we were in a bit of a rush, but that's what you get. But regardless, this is what it turned out to be. This is what it's like. So you can do this in your garage. It didn't have very much overspray, but if anything, you want to be in a well-ventilated area because this is probably the strongest chemical smelling stuff that I've ever smelled in my life, bro. So I'd recommend probably using the gun you don't like because how messy it is. I recommend probably getting the reducer. Probably do a 2.0 tip if you do use the Apollo, and then I also recommend a well-ventilated area. But overall, I mean, a real super easy process, and you can do it at home. So if you get a chance, make sure you check out the Apollo Precision 6 Pro, and make sure you use code SAUCYPAINTER5 to save you 5%. Appreciate you for watching.